does it feel like to be tangled up in knots? Do you know that your internal knots feel like a weight holding you down and are stopping you from moving forward? The solution is now. Welcome to Untangled and Free with Joan, to get the tangled knots out of your life and fast forward to the freedom you deserve. The bottom line is this: we all have knots and tangles. The question is, what are they and why are they here? Knots in your finances, your relationships, your beliefs. Which one do you want to pick up today and untangle? During this hit show, Joan guides you on a pathway to experience the freedom to live an untangled life of peace, love, joy, abundance, and more. Maybe you don't even know where to start. Let's start together now on Untangled and Free with Joan.
Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Pat, and you are listening to Untangled and Free with Joan. Look, I'm going to open this up, but this is one of the most important topics that can be discussed right now, given what's going on in the world, given what's happening in your life, given where you want to go, given how much you want to excel, succeed, given how you want peace and joy. Untangle beliefs. Your beliefs matter, and they matter for a lot of reasons. Joan is going to walk us through why they matter, when they matter, and what we can learn and do. This is an exciting topic, Joan, right?
Oh yeah, this is my passion. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to come on the show, is to share this with the world. So yeah, absolutely.
Good. Let's hit it up, because not only is this important, but you and I both understand this in our coaching practices, but you especially in your coaching practices. This is an area that you focus on, especially when you introduce other tools like Psyche and just many, many modalities that you bring to bear. So let's get at it. Oh, look, people want to know, why do our beliefs matter? What is the connection between those beliefs and, shall I say, no pun intended, matter?
That's so great. Yeah, thank you for that great introduction. You're right, because I want to talk about this topic today because changing beliefs for myself personally and for my clients has been so transformative. And so today's going to be a powerful day for everybody listening. I want you to, if you come away with anything, I want you to know that you can change the beliefs that are not supporting you, that are limiting and holding you back. So the way I like to look at where beliefs kind of lie is, think of that tangled up and knotted necklace we've talked about before on the show. And so when I'm working with clients and we're identifying where that tangle is and how to untangle it, so many times when we get to that root of the knot, that last piece that's just hard to untangle, is a core belief. And it's a belief that, and so, yeah, so we can untangle that. So, because you can create.
Well, I mean, but one of the things that I was talking about earlier is, I mean, no joke intended, or no pun intended, but the idea about beliefs matter, and beliefs and matter are important. So so when we talk about matter, we're talking about things in the physical world. And so this show and what you're going to take us through is how do our beliefs reflect and activate how things show up in the world. Now, we may take 2 episodes to do this, because I know you're going to do part 1 and part 2. But the bottom line to beliefs and the way that you present them is, belief A could lead to action A, or belief A could lead to action B. And one of those 2 you may not want.
Exactly. And so what I wanted to do, let me take you back a little bit to kind of how I got to understand beliefs and kind of how they matter in our body. So, picture, I'll just tell you a brief story here of how I came to learn about beliefs, right? And it became a passion of mine. So Labor Day weekend, sitting in, meeting my friend for breakfast in Arizona. We're sitting outside, and she looks at me and she says to me, "You don't look so good." And I was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Yeah, I've had a headache here in the center of my head. I've got kind of this rash going on and all these kind of different things." And so, she looks at me and she says, I said, yeah, but if you live in Arizona, you know that it's really hot, even in September. And so I had been out watching soccer games all weekend. I was like, yeah, I'm just tired. I'm probably overheated and that. And she looks at me and she's like, I think you have shingles. Shingles? What the heck? Like, I work with stress and I deal with, I help people handle their own stress. There's no way. Right. And then my little intuitive self was like, oh yeah, that's what it is. And so long story short, got tested. Of course it was shingles. But the really thing that was the thing that made me stop is that I was supposed to go on my annual girls beach trip that week. And 20 years we go on this trip. And of course now I have shingles. So what did the universe do? It gave me a little like knock, knock, right? Like what's going on with, you need to take a look at yourself. And so that's kind of, instead of having it give me a bigger warning, I said, okay, let me kind of do that. And so the reason why I'm talking about this is because during this time, I decided I wanted to change that reality. I didn't want that little knock knock of shingles, and knowing that the stress was affecting my physical health in my current situation. What was I going to do about it? I wanted to affect change in myself. I wanted to create a new reality for myself, right? One without shingles. And I did not want them to come back. That is for sure. And I did not want to miss out on any more beach trips. So I picked up a book. I don't even remember where I got it from, but I don't know if you've read it, The Biology of Belief by Bruce Lipton.
I'm telling you, I love that book. When that book came out, I got the Bruce on the show. And we'll save my story for another time about that. But that book came out, I can't remember the year. It came out in the middle of my healing crisis. And and so like this thing you just talked about for shingles, I learned about it. But you see, you have an end game result. So you got the book on Bruce. What did the book do for you? Tell me.
So it taught me that, like, why beliefs matter. Right. So some of the, now you know this, but did you know that the cells of your body are affected by your thoughts? That was kind of one thing I'll talk about that mind-body connection, but really down to your thoughts. And did you know the biology belief really is like all those thoughts racing through your mind have the power to either build up or tear down your physical and mental health. And so what the book talks about is like the cells, and you change the environment around your cells and it changes the cell's behavior. And so the most powerful signals are the energetic messages from our thoughts that change that environment, that change the cell behavior. And so, Jacob, can you put up that first slide I have? Because it really started to get me to ask that what are the root of my thoughts? What's the subconscious mind he talks about? So let's go ahead and put that up, Jacob.
You know what I love about this? Because even like skeptics like me, like I was, even the most skeptics of the skeptics, what you're about to say and what you're about to share, there's no harm, no foul in trying this. You see that? Even if you don't believe at the moment and everything else in your life is not working for you, and you want to get to where Joan got, like vacay, then you better try something.
So you guys can see the slide. And so in an essence, what the book and what I learned throughout this is you start with your beliefs, right? Your beliefs become your thoughts, become your words, your actions, your behaviors, your values, and then it becomes your reality or the destiny that you want. So if you think about it, it's either like a pyramid or a snowball effect, right? Change your beliefs, then you can change your thoughts, your words, and you kind of create it. So, and then it also.
So let me ask you, like in the middle of this, what was your belief? Because I know you said it, but I want to make everybody clear that there was a belief or two or three right in that. Like the minute you're like, oh my gosh, this is what's going on. You shifted to something.
Right. So at that point, my belief was more of the mind of that my job like causes stress in my life, kind of thing, right? Like jobs cause stress, work cause stress, work is stressful, those kind of things, like, which is probably something I was brought up with, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But like, so my job is causing the stress that I have. And so is that truly a belief I wanted to change? Of course, right? Like, who wants to have a stressful, job that you walk in every day and it's, giving you shingles?
Yeah, for like your entire life.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
I don't mean to laugh, but this is how beliefs work.
Yeah, I mean, it affects everything, right? Or, there's definitely some beliefs that, and through my own, and I'll talk a little bit more about that, but like, we're like, am I good enough to go find another job? Am I good enough to go out on my own and start my own business? Those big beliefs, like, you work hard and you get financial success. You go to college and you get a job, right? Those kind of things. But so I want to kind of go back and talk about, because your beliefs are in your subconscious mind. And so the subconscious mind is so powerful. And so I kept doing some research on my own about how my beliefs can create my reality. And so I wanted to create a new one, again, without shingles, one without stress that brought on the shingles. And so, Jacob, can you put up the next slide? And this one is a little bit busy, but I want, if you take away any big facts from this slide. And Jacob, is it up?
Yeah. Yeah. So tell people describe the slide for people. So
I call it the iceberg slide, because
you gotta love this one.
I know, right? And you've probably seen this before. It's probably in Bruce's book, and I don't even I don't remember it, but
all you got to do is watch the movie Titanic to understand what's above and what's below, right?
And there's a heck of a lot more below than there is above, right? Where you can see this. And so the really powerful thing for me, especially when I saw this slide, was that if you look at that 95%, just remember 95% of your beliefs are in your subconscious mind. Think about that. 95% of your beliefs and your thoughts are in your subconscious mind. The other hugely important fact is that your subconscious mind processes information at 40 million bits per second versus your conscious mind that's 40 bits per second. So the way I look at it and the way I've seen it is that your subconscious mind is like a computer program running in the background, right? So it's processing, it's things in present moments, it's your habits, it's that automatic programming that's going on behind the scenes, and those beliefs that are behind the scenes that you don't even know that are there, that are operating at 40 million bits per second. So think about this. Like, what if that computer program has a belief that is not in alignment with the goals that you want in your conscious mind? Like, what if that belief is like, I am not good enough? Think about that. That's like a computer program. It's like an automatic mindset of our past experiences. It's just this thing that's there, and you might not even know that it's there. Yeah. You might not know that. And that's one of the things that it's just the subconscious mind is extremely powerful.
Yeah. I mean, this is a really important point, because I want to just be clear. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. But the thing I want to be really clear about is, when we're talking about beliefs, they can also be global, or they can be very specific. When somebody latches on to a global belief, like I'm not good enough, that belief is one of the global beliefs. That thing literally can sift through everything we do on a daily basis, on an annual. I mean, it creeps in there Like when you don't, when you least expected, it creeps in there and it will shut you down in many ways. And we'll talk about that when we come back. Because if I'm not good enough, then I don't deserve the raise. I don't deserve the love of my life. I don't deserve to have great parents. I don't deserve to have joy. I don't, and usually followed by deserve, or I don't believe I should get this. And this particular belief is a showstopper across the board. When we come back, Joan's going to walk us through why that is. And more importantly, it does show up. It shows up everywhere. And where it comes from, that's probably another show, but think about it. How many times have you grown up? I know I grew up with this because I was considered slow. I was in that slow category, and almost classified in so many ways as really slow and low IQ. Time goes on and people realize, oopsie, that's not what was going on with her. But can you imagine being that child or being that adult and constantly being told, yep, you just don't have it? When we come back, how did Joan get past this? I want to know how she got past the shingles thing. We're going to take a short break, Jacob. We'll be right back. Hey, everybody, welcome back. You're listening to Untangled and Free with Joan, and I'm Dr. Pat, and I get to walk this journey with her. You know, my friend Monica said, we always walk in beauty. What allows me to walk in beauty is to be in the presence of somebody like Joan that is helping so many people worldwide understand how amazing and beautiful they are. Before we talk about, you know, the subconscious, which could be our friend, she's going to walk us through this. Joan, can you just take a moment? I know you're working with people every day. You use a wide range of tools. Please tell folks how they can connect with you, how they can work with you, you know, and especially in your coaching practice. I mean, this is something that not only you're passionate about, but you've created a way to help people be untangled and free.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. So, yes, I love to help people untangle and get to that root and change that core belief so they are in alignment with the goals that they want to achieve. And so you can go to my website, Mindfulness with Joan, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about a process that I found that we can work together to change. So we talked about before, like the subconscious mind running this computer program behind you. And if it's not saying what you want it to say, I am trained in a process that you can change that program. And then it'll support you and be in alignment with the finding the love, peace, joy, abundance, all those things that we want. So one thing I wanted to kind of talk about that I think is, you know, we always talk about these subconscious beliefs, right? But a lot of times we don't ask where they come from, or we don't know kind of where they come from. And I just want you to know, like, they just come from life, plain and simple, our experiences. You know, they can be intentional or unintentional. And, you know, you were talking about that, what you were told when you were growing up, Dr. Pat. And a lot of times I like to use these couple just examples to help my clients understand how powerful these limiting beliefs can be. And so say, for example, you're sitting in elementary school and you're doing, you know, the teacher is doing math problems on the board, and she happens to look at you while she's doing a math problem and say, like, this is going to be really hard, right? So you're going to have a hard time doing this to the class, right? That's not intentional. She's just kind of giving a warning. But if you're that kid looking and you take that in, it's in your energy field, and it's that program that becomes in your subconscious mind that, okay, math is hard. Math is hard. Math is always going to be hard. And so it's kind of those kind of experiences. Or public speaking, the fear of public speaking, right? If you got up to give a presentation and something happened that gave that little fear inside of you, that can be a program that's running through your mind.
Oh, there's no question about it, Joan. I
Yeah.
was doing a show the other day with somebody and they were talking about something emotional from childhood. And I can't, I'm doing it right now. Listen, I'm stuttering right now. And so during that show, I can't even tell you what he said. But the minute he said it and I went to reply, I stuttered. And what I said to him is, you know what? I'm stuttering. I did that as a teenager. And I said, I have no idea what you just said, but I'm going to look at this later. Right?
Yes. It
Out of
could
nowhere.
Right. It could. And, the nice thing about the process that, there's core beliefs around like that, right? And that could have triggered something. We don't need to know where it comes from, right? It's there. We just need to know that it's not supporting us. There's, what about things around your health or your body? Like, my body, as it ages, it deteriorates,
Oh my God, dude, are you going to bring that up here now? Oh my gosh. Look, that is a huge one. It's a societal one. But what if, and I want you to take this away. What if we all thought like Moses? Moses, the guy walked around, Moses, any of those people that Buddha, whoever they are. What if we thought about things like that, where age was not an issue? Like, I don't even know how many hundreds of years. Do you think they woke up every day and say, oh my God, I need my anti-aging cream?
No. And so obviously they didn't have the same beliefs that were passed along to us via society. And so the nice thing is that we can change that. And so there's a couple ways I describe this change process too, is you think about, we're all on a journey in life. And as we're walking along our journey and we want to move forward, we kind of keep running into this roadblock, right? We run into this sign, like think of those roadblocks. And what the process that I can do with my clients to help change those subconscious beliefs that are not supporting them is move that roadblock out of the way for them. So it just makes it easier. Now, I will say, I'm not magic. I can't take those steps for you, but I can move it out of the way and it'll feel easier to take the steps. The other example I always give is on my website. I love sea turtles, and I have a picture of this little sea turtle trying to get to the ocean. And so think about the generational beliefs that were passed along to this little sea turtle, if the sea turtle could talk, right? Or even just the energetic thoughts behind that, what we talk about sea turtles. It's going to be hard to get to the ocean. You're never going to make it. It is difficult. It's dangerous, all those kind of things. And so what if you could instead tell the turtle's subconscious mind, like do a little program in there and say, hey, it's safe, fun, and easy to get to the ocean. Now, turtle still has to get there, right? You can't, but doesn't it feel better in an alignment?
There's no question about it. I mean, think about it. We are all sea turtles. I mean, in a sense, we really are in so many ways. The only difference between us and a sea turtle is, I think sea turtles are way more focused. Let me just saying, they're not plugged into their social media or their television set. They have other things, other distractions. But what you're helping people with is not just living in a world that's almost Pollyanna-ish. You're help people living every day in this world as technology grows, as information grows. So what you're helping them do is really sift through and chip through the ice to get down underneath what really is causing, I like to call it the stoppage. I call it the stoppage. It's the stoppage, the thing that will say, I'm never going to go on this thing with my friends. I got the shingles. It's never right. Am I right?
Not. It's like that big.
It's that knot.
It's that knot.
See, I just did another pun, like knot and then knot.
It's exactly.
Oh my gosh, what's happening to me?
So yeah, so I know that I definitely want to take this up on another
part
time.
Part one.
Yeah, this is definitely part one, because like, what if you could change, and like, what if you had a belief that I'm bad and I can't do anything right? Right? Or nothing ever goes right for me. Everyone is out to get me. What if you could change that?
I'll never be loved.
Oh my gosh, I am unlovable. What
my
if you were to able to go ahead and do a process where you believe in every part of your being that you love and appreciate yourself and that you are worthy of love? What if I could do that process with you? And that's what that belief that was going through your mind, I am worthy of love, 40 million bits per second, right? That computer program. Wouldn't you like that one better?
You know what? Isn't that why you do what you do? Isn't that why you're as passionate? Okay, tell folks again, how did they find out about you? And next time we're going to talk about part 2. We may even show you a video of how the brain works, but how do people work with you, Joan? Because I think this is important for them to know how they can help themselves.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Go to Mindfulness with Joan. And there's a free 15-minute consult if you want to just talk to me about this, but we can do a belief change in a 1-hour session. So you can just go ahead and book, and we don't have to know where these beliefs come from. We sit down, we chat, we get to like kind of the root, and then we come up with action steps.
I love it.
Forward. So yeah, so go to my website, find me there, book a 15-minute consult if you want, but otherwise, why would you not want to change? Find out what beliefs are holding you back and change them if you can. And I can do that with you. So,
and maybe one of the shows Joan and I will do, we'll talk about how powerful what she's saying is and how it literally healed my body from something that nobody thought I could heal from. That's how powerful it is. And thank you for mentioning Bruce.
And same for me.
All right. Personal message. Oh my God, you did. I don't even know how. What do you want to leave us with? What's your personal message?
Sure. I want you to know that beliefs matter. Your beliefs matter, right? We all have them. They're all knotted and tangled up in our subconscious mind. We don't even know where they came from. We just know that you can change them. So if you are hitting that roadblock, if you're not obtaining those goals and you feel like there's something holding you back, reach out to me, because we can work together to change that and change that program to be a supporting one for you and in alignment with the goals that you want to achieve. And of course, what does that give you? Peace and love and joy and happiness, what I'm all about. So
untangled and free. That's what it gives you with Joan. Joan, thank you so much. Jacob, thank you so much. And we are going to do a part 2. By the way, if there's information or questions you want to ask, just send it to me at info@thedrpatshow.com. And I will make sure we get them to Joan. info@thedrpatshow.com. If you want her to cover a particular belief next time, send us your email, info@thedrpatshow.com, and Joan will get on it. All right, everybody.
We'll get on it together.
We'll be back. Thanks, Joan. All right.
Bye.
Beliefs matter. See you.
Thanks for watching Untangled and Free with Joan on TransformationTalkRadio.com as Joan guides you on a pathway to experience the freedom to live an untangled life of peace, love, joy, abundance, and more. Discover how your internal knots weigh you down and stop you from moving forward. Get ready to untangle your limiting beliefs, discover your best self, and achieve the freedom you deserve. For more info, be sure to visit mindfulnesswithjoan.com and schedule a session to get untangled today.